What's up, guys? I'm here. Um, I just want to show you my journey towards finding out how to fix the steer ratio. I know it's cringe for for those people who into codes, but for me as a non-coder, I'm so happy that I find out with the help of Chat GPT. Okay, but anyway, so first of all, why you always see me posting fixed steer ratio, especially high steer ratio? Um, First of all, having a high steer ratio, um, versus your learn on my accord, uh, gives me a planted feeling, and the curves gets more aggressive. Okay, I've been testing high steer ratio for the longest time, and I think Frog Pilot has a steer ratio toggle. Okay, and I've been hinting Sunny Pilot and company if they can add a steer ratio toggle just like Frog Pilot. But uh, beggars cannot be choosers. I know Sunny Pilot team is very good. It's a lot of um, I have a lot of benefit testing their fork, and whatever they dish out, whatever their priority, that's the ultimate goal. But anyway, so I keep asking the Discord for how to fix steer ratio on the newer versions of OpenPilot because I can fix it at the old versions of OpenPilot, but in the new ones, it won't stay fixed for some reason. Okay, so I asked for help on the Discord, and nobody seems to know or care to answer. So I just kind of like, you know what? Let me just ask Chat GPT. Probably, you know, can help me with it. Okay. Initially, it will give me a lot of answers, but at the end, it turns out that it will fix it, but the steer ratio will change over time. Okay, but definitely it's here that you need to change the code. Open file self drive location branch .py. Okay. Okay. Now, first time I try it, the first suggestion of ChatGPT was because I wanna a higher steer ratio for my learn. Okay, my learn is around 16, 17. So I said, and then I want to add 3 on my learn one. So it suggested to me to put +3 here. Okay. And so it did. Initially I do a quick drive, and from 16 it goes to 19 or 20, 19, 20. Okay. So as the day progressed, as the week progressed, like maybe after 3 days, I will get a steer ratio error. Okay. And I was like, how come the steer ratio is too high? Okay. And then the car won't engage. Okay. So that's the sanity check. So if the steer ratio is too high, OpenPower will let you know that, you know what, it's this not will work. So there is a sanity check. It turns out that this hack, adding 3 here, adding 3 on the float, okay, basically it's compounding the value of 3. So it's adding 3 every now and then. I don't know how's the frequency of adding the 3, but it will get high. Okay, it will get high until the sanity check says, you know what, it's too high. Okay, so unless I think you have unless you reboot, then it will start fresh again. Okay, I'm not sure about that. I'm just assuming. So this one, um, I abandoned this hack. Okay, by adding three, I abandoned this hack. So next, there's another option that ChatGPT says, you know what? Why don't you? Another option is here. Line 32 is why don't you put your steer ratio here? Replace steer ratio underscore ratio with your value. Okay, so like 1933. That's my ideal steer ratio for my Accord. That's my starting 1933. So lo and behold, when I tested it, okay, it's 1933. The first drive, you know, just a few blocks around the house. And then the next day I drive again. This time around town. Okay. Then when I check from 19.83, it went down. It went down to 17 to 16 to 17. I think 17, which is my learn. That's the average learn 16, 17. Okay. So it turns out it says here initial. Okay. So this will be your initial. Turns out that whatever value here, whenever you reboot, it will start with your initial input, which is, for example, 19.33. And then it will learn towards your usual learn steer ratio. Okay. In this case, it will go down to 16 or 17. Okay. Different time of day will have an effect on the learning, like at night, because one time I put 23.33, um, the whole night driving around town, it only went down to 22. Okay, so it really depends on the environment. How does it learn? Night and day has a big difference. So I was like, you know what? This is good enough. As long as I reboot my C3X, my C3, especially now the C3X has no coma power. So it's constantly rebooting. I mean, it's constantly starting fresh. Okay. So you always start 19.33 or whatever high stereo ratio that you put, and that is good enough for a quick, 45-minute drive. Okay. So I was ready to settle for this hack here. Okay. So today I gave Chat GPT another go at it, asking again by posting this URL here. I want to fix the steer ratio, and then Chat GPT gave me this. Again, for those viewers, I'm not a coder. Okay, I'm more of a tester. So I do change the code and I test it. Um, so what Chat GPT, the latest answer was is this is the same one. Remember this one is compounding the thing until the sanity check kicks in. So Chat GPT told me to replace this line with my steer ratio. Okay, replace this line with my steer ratio, and lo and behold, it works. My latest three videos are all fixed 19.33 steer ratio. They're all fixed. It's not dynamic. It doesn't change on curves, on straight. Okay, those are fixed steer ratio. Um, and here's here's the changes what I did. This is I'm gonna test a higher one, 23.33. I think this will be my max. Okay, so you just hash out this line, or either delete it. Just hash it out, so it's easier to go back, and then put your value here. Okay, so this will give you a fixed steer ratio for your car. Again, having high steer ratio, I think it's better on Hondas. For what I can remember, it's better on Hondas because of our, I don't know, for some reason it's better on Hondas because we don't get, I my car doesn't get escalation whenever I change the steer ratio into a high, change it to a higher value. Because I think some cars will get oscillation if the steer ratio is too high. Okay. Um, again, it really depends on the model version, what have you. Okay. Some steer ratio hack will be aggressive on some models. Some will be too much. Okay. So my rule of thumb is just don't go beyond 25. Okay. Let's say my learn is 16, probably or 17. Don't go beyond 10 values more. Okay. Because you can feel if the steer ratio is too much, you can feel it. Okay. Um, don't go beyond 25. 23, yeah, I think 23 might be too much, but I'm giving it a shot. If I can take it, if I can take, if I like it, why not? But I'm gonna give it a shot 23. And I might end up with 20. Okay, I might end up with 20. Okay, so yeah, so you just play with it. Okay, guys. Again, it's your mouse may vary, but definitely this hack here will give you a fixed steer ratio. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. This is Eisenham again, and thank you for subscribing and leaving a like. Thank you.